Now this is Podgate.
Hey everyone, and welcome into a brand new season of the AshlaStarGazer podcast. I am your host, Star Wars Gazer, and as I said, today is a brand new beginning for the AshlaStarGazer podcast. Starting today, I'm officially launching season 3 of the AshlaStarGazer podcast. From here on out, every episode, every season will be numbered, so interviews and different things will be a lot easier to find. And to blast us off the beginning of this season, I am joined by someone who sometimes wears many names: Asajj Ventress, Bellatrix Lestrange, and of course, our favorite, Ahsoka Tano. Please help me welcome my friend, AshlaStarGazer. Ashla, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am doing very well. Very excited and honored to have you on here. I've been following your Instagram for a while now. You do some amazing cosplays, as everyone can see here. You got Ahsoka Tano in light of the new season 2 trailer that just dropped. Super excited about that. Before we get to that, I like to ask a few questions just to kind of get us up and going. Let's start off with this. What began your love of Star Wars? Has it always been a thing that's been a part of your life, or has it been something somewhat recent that kind of got you into it?
So I don't really have an epiphany moment. I feel like I've just always had Star Wars in my blood, like since birth. My family are fans of Star Wars, and I just remember being really super young, seeing movies with my family in the theaters. My brothers were always into Star Wars. So I kind of feel like my passion probably started at a really young age, maybe too early to determine, who knows? But, the moment I saw a lightsaber, I feel like I was in love. I was a fan.
I love it. Yeah, same story with me. I grew up, my dad he likes Star Wars. He created a massive Star Wars nut. But I grew up, watching the original trilogy, obviously. And then the first movie I ever saw in theaters was The Phantom Menace. So super close attachment. So I feel you there. It's always been something that's there. What is your favorite Star Wars movie?
It's hard to choose a favorite star from the sky, but I do really love episode 3. Just, you get so many amazing battle scenes and lightsaber fights. I'm gonna go with episode 3.
Episode 3, yeah. The choreography for the prequels is it's unmatched. It's like watching a dance, it's incredible. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, Phantom Menace was the first I ever saw in theaters, and as a kid, watching Maul light both of his blades and then watching the 3 of them go at it, I was like, this is incredible. This is insane. So I love that. I am going to ask you favorite Star Wars show. Now, the way I do this is I break it up into 2. You get to choose an animated, and then you get to choose a live action. I think I have an idea where you're going with live action, but we'll see where we go here. Go ahead.
All right, so let's start with animated. And it's really hard for me to decide between Rebels and Clone Wars, but I'm going to go with Clone Wars just because there's more of it. It's more of Anakin's story. Anakin is one of my favorite characters of all time. But it's really close, though. Like right here, we're going to say between Clone Wars and Rebels.
I love it.
Oh, so for live action, we've got some really good live action, I feel like, shows that have come out. And some of them are just okay. But my favorite out of all the live action that's come out so far, the storytelling is just so epic, the character development. I'm going to say it's The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian for me has been the best live action show.
Okay. Heck yeah. Not where I thought you were going with that. You threw me a curveball, Ashla. I love it.
That could change January 20th, but
that could change. Yes.
But for right now, it's The Mandalorian.
I would agree with that. I think especially the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian are absolutely incredible storytelling, incredible cinematography. Everything is just, it's so good. So good. Okay, so you mentioned Anakin being one of your favorite characters. Is he your favorite, or who would you say is your absolute favorite?
You're making me choose again, but because usually I'll do like a top 3 because trying to pick an all-time favorite can be kind of hard. But I'm still gonna go with Anakin. I love his story. It's it's tragic, but you love him regardless. You don't love his choices, but you still love him. He just
Right.
went through so much, and being able to go through his story in the Clone Wars just made his character that much better. You just really
Yeah.
appreciate him as Darth Vader when you know what he went through. So I'm still going with Anakin.
100%. Yeah. That's was something, like with the prequels, a lot of people think that haven't watched like Clone Wars and stuff, he's just kind of a whiny crybaby. And it's like, I know it's a cartoon animation, but if you watch the Clone Wars, you get so much more behind. Like when you realize when he's upset that they won't give him a spot as master on the council, you're like, he saved all of their lives like 2 or 3 times over. Like there's a reason that he's upset that this isn't happening. And I get it. Okay, since you usually do top 3, who's your honorable mention?
I mean, it's going to be Ahsoka.
Okay.
All the way, his
I love it.
family. His family.
Heck yeah. I love it. I want to talk about, because obviously how I ended up finding you was obviously on Instagram, your cosplays. Obviously you're affiliated with Theory Sabers. We got that back there. What got you down the road of cosplaying? Obviously you said Star Wars has been a part of your life for forever. When did you realize, I could dress up as these people and have fun with this?
Well, I've always been someone who loves to volunteer, who loves to give back to the community. So I've always been in different opportunities to volunteer. And I've always loved costuming, but I never really got into cosplay until I found out that you could volunteer and do cosplay at the same time. I was like, I think this is made for me. It was just so perfect. I found an organization called Costumers with a Cause, and
That's
they were
cool.
volunteering in my area. They raise money for different children's and different local charities. And you go and you be a character for them, and you interact with families and children at different charity events. So that was my first ever time volunteering in cosplay, and I just love Costumers with a Cause so much. And that's what stemmed me into joining things like Rebel Legion and doing Ahsoka for them, and the Dark Empire and Sabak for Charity, just things like that. That's where it all started.
That is really cool. I was gonna say, yeah, the Rebel Scum Con that I was at, they had the Rebel Legion there and Sabak for Charity, which is such two cool organizations. I know they do a lot here where I'm at. They have St. Jude's Children's Hospital, so the Rebel Legion here does a lot with that, which is really cool. I think it's so cool to cosplay for kids, and obviously must be a great feeling. You have these kids who might be sick or dealing with stuff that the rest of us aren't, and you get to kind of bring a light into their life, at least for a little while. Talk about that a little bit, like your experience with that.
I have so many stories. We could be here almost all day just talking about the different interaction with children. But the most recent one that I have had was May the 4th on Star Wars Day. I got to go into the children's hospital as Ahsoka for the first time, to a children's hospital. And I had R2D2 with me and a stormtrooper. And we went in visiting children, some of them that have been in there for months, just to give them a little moment to forget about what they're going through. It's so rewarding. Like, I can't express how grateful I am to even be able to do that for someone. It's just an amazing feeling. And the Youngling Jedi Adventures, I think it's called. It's the Disney Plus show that
Yes.
I'm probably saying the title wrong, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I
It's
know
got the
exactly
little
what you're.
blue Jedi nubs, and the little Jedi, and they go on their own little adventures. One of the voice actors for that show is local to where I'm at, and his family made sure that we, on this hospital trip, received a bunch of toys from the show. They donated them, and he autographed all of them. His name's Trey Diaz Murphy.
Okay.
He voice acts on the show. I'm forgetting his character's name at the moment, but he's the villain. Super nice guy, but he's the villain. Well, they donated all these toys to go to the kids. So when we were there passing them out, we got to give them something from someone that's actually in Star Wars. And it was just so much fun, whether it was a puzzle or a toy. Some kids don't even know Star Wars. It didn't matter. It just made their day a little bit brighter.
That's so cool. I love it. Yeah. And even some of the kids that like don't necessarily like know Star Wars, like they recognize some of the characters, you know, like you see Vader, Stormtrooper, even R2, you know, like you're like, I know what that's from, you know? And it's cool. I think it's really cool to be able to light up a kid's day like that. I was talking to some of my friends. We went to the Rebel Scum Con last weekend, and we were asking each other like highlights of our weekend. And I had one of the days I was walking around as episode 2 Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I'm walking around and I hear this teensy weensy little voice, Obi-Wan. And I like turn around and it's this little itty bitty little gal. I mean, she's like 3 or 4 years old. I mean, super tiny. And I was like, hello there. And I got a picture with her and stuff. And then she turns to me, she looks up at me and she goes, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. And I was like, oh man, like it was so cute. But it's exactly why I love cosplaying like that, because there's so many other kids too that you just made their day. They're like, look, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know? And I just love that. I love making a kid's day with that stuff. It's so much fun.
It is. And, you know, they might not have watched Star Wars, but Star Wars has crossed over into a lot of different things nowadays. A lot of kids play video games, and you have a lot of characters just in Fortnite. So sometimes I'll be out as Ahsoka, and that's what the child will know me from is Fortnite. They'll recognize me from that. Or Stormtroopers. I feel like everybody knows what Stormtroopers are from, even if you haven't seen Star Wars. So it is a lot of fun, and I feel like you're still inspiring them to maybe one day possibly watch Star Wars. Who knows?
100%. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. One of the other things I wanted to ask you, so obviously we had Ahsoka season 2 trailer come out. Well, I want to get your thoughts first on what you thought of Ahsoka season 1, and then let's move into the trailer for Ahsoka season 2. What were your thoughts on the first season of Ahsoka?
I really, really had a good time watching her train on the ship with her lightsaber forms. It sticks out of my head so much. I'm such a dork, guys, such a dork that I went and actually started learning those forms from the TV show. It just looked like so much fun. I thought season 1 was it a little slow? Maybe. It seemed like it had a lot of fan service in it, but I have no problem with fan service. I kind of love Easter eggs and things like that. So I was completely good with it. Sabine being force sensitive threw me a little bit, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I feel like the force kind of resides a little bit in all of us, some stronger than others. The space whales, remind me their names.
Oh,
I can't believe I'm forgetting them at the moment, but the space whales.
I'm totally forgetting about them too. Space whales, though. People will know. You guys know.
So when I saw the space whales on screen, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. I'm so glad that those came and transitioned from animation into live action. That was such a huge part. And oh my goodness, there's so many good things about season 1. I have really high hopes for the next season. I do.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about it, because we just had a trailer drop from D23 and a poster with January 20th, 2027. So relatively soon, Ahsoka season 2 is coming out. What were your thoughts? I know you were just getting done editing and uploading a video of your reaction, but what were your thoughts on the second season trailer?
It was short, but I feel like they crammed in so many different things. When I watched it for the first time, it was like overload. I was like, wait, we get more Anakin, we get more Clone Wars flashbacks. I was like, this is so exciting. And then boom, they throw a Night Sister in your face. And I'm like, what? a Night Sister. I'm like, Night Sisters are getting resurrected in this show. I was like, this is going to be so epic. And then I see Ezra Bridger with his lightsaber. I see Zeb. I see Chopper. I see Hera sitting there in front of the council with her hands on the table, I think. And
Yeah.
it's like Thrawn's back, and she's kind of got that look on her face like, told you so. I'm like, this is going to be so much fun. I watched it twice, and then I watched it once in slow motion because I'm looking at the Night Sisters like, okay, do I want to cosplay this? I was like, what's she wearing? Oh, this trailer's too short. I can't see what she's wearing. Is she bald? I can't tell if she's bald. Wait, there's another Night Sister. There's two Night Sisters. It was like, it was fan overload. That's what I'm gonna say. It was fan overload, but it was so exciting. I don't think I've ever been this hyped for a teaser trailer. Sometimes I don't even watch trailers because I feel like they spoil some of the stuff in the movies or the shows.
Yeah.
This teaser, I will make an exception when it comes to Star Wars stuff. I will still watch the trailer. But there was a lot of exciting things that we got to see in there, and I want to see more. Oh, and don't let me forget one of the most interesting things. I don't know if I love it or hate it yet. I guess I'll have to see it in the show. But when he had the staff lightsaber, and then
Yes.
boom, extends, and it's got a saber, it's got a blade right there in the middle. I'm like, what is that? Yeah, that's so crazy. I was like,
That
is that
is.
going to be functional? Because I have a feeling Darth Maul wouldn't like that. You know,
No.
he's all over that staff handle. So I'm like, this
Yes.
guy's got to be like awesome with this thing. And then I'm like, well, wait, is he going to pull it apart and it turns into two lightsabers? I need to know these things. And I can't
That's
wait till January 20th. So I'm hoping the next trailer that they come out with has even more details.
right. Same. Yeah. Yeah. That staff, when he like it shows and he's, I was like, wait, what? Like nobody's ever seen anything like that. This is wild.
It reminds me of the Acolyte, right? When he pulls out when the stranger pulls out the little blade.
Oh yes.
Yes, and he's got his saber and his little blade, like a little dagger lightsaber. I was like, that is
Yes,
so cool. So they keep wowing us with lightsaber things.
they do.
I'm not going to complain about that. I want to see more.
No, not at all. So for me, my favorite character is Obi-Wan. Second is Boba, and my third, I've read all the books, is Grand Admiral Thrawn. I'm a massive Grand Admiral Thrawn fan, and so like I love that part of the trailer where he's like, I swore I would protect the Empire, therefore I declare war on the Rebel Alliance. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like obviously I want the Rebel Alliance to win, but I love me some Thrawn. I think Thrawn is so cool. But that whole trailer, like you said, was jam packed with so much. You kind of have to watch it 3 or 4 times before you're like, oh, okay, there's this, there's that, there's the other thing over there. There is so much. It was really cool to watch.
And it looked like, I mean, I don't know this for sure. It looked like they were either in a Jedi temple or like a Dathomir witch temple. We can't really tell.
Yeah.
From the small scenes,
Yeah.
but it I'm so curious, man. I've got to know if the Mortis gods are going to be in this or not. I mean, but maybe they have all the NDAs signed and we'll never find out until it drops, in January 20th or after that. But I feel like they should be in it somehow or another because I just want to see live action Mortis gods. I think that would be amazing.
Same, 100%. And technically, isn't Ahsoka the daughter? Isn't she the daughter? Supposed to be.
She has the daughter's essence. That's how she was resurrected.
Right.
So I would say she's at least part daughter. If she's not the daughter now.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. There's so many fun things, and we got a lot of fun things coming up. And we have the new Star Wars Starfighter, which is an interesting thing. I don't know if there's an illegal trailer out there on YouTube, which I think a lot of us have seen. I think it kind of looks interesting. They brought back the old Star Wars logo underneath the Starfighter name. I think it'll be kind of a fun, adventurous side quest type of movie, which I think will be a lot of fun to watch. What are your thoughts on the new Starfighter coming out?
So I think maybe we're going to get something similar maybe to Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
Like you said, maybe kind of like a side story. I mean, I'm not going to knock it. When there's Star Wars that doesn't have lightsabers, it's to me, it's good. It's good stories. Nothing beats the stories though that have the Jedi in them. So I'm
Sure,
really hoping
absolutely.
that it has a little bit of both, honestly. But I think it'll be good too.
Yeah.
Is it Ryan Gosling? Is that who's in it?
Yes. Yep.
He's a very good actor. Very good
Yes.
actor. So I have high hopes, and Amy Adams is in it. I
Right.
know a lot of people are saying they hope she's Mara Jade. I don't know how that would work in what timeline they're in. Do you know what timeline they're in?
I don't. I wanna say it's like 5 or 6 years after Return of the Jedi, or somewhere in that range. Like it's after
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
Because
think it would be pretty epic if they did bring her to live action. I'm not going to complain about more Star Wars. Do I love
right.
everything that comes out? Maybe not. I find it entertaining and it's doing its job if it's entertaining, but I don't
Sure.
necessarily love everything, but I do enjoy it, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I'll enjoy it.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I agree with you. I like stuff with lightsabers and all that. That's so much fun. I with the Mara Jade thing, man, I don't know. On her deathbed, if that's the kind of, because that's kind of the rumors, that she's on her deathbed and she sends the kid away. And I'm like, ugh. See, what I was really hoping for when they announced Starfighter, I was telling one of my buddies, I was really hoping for like almost like a Top Gun type Star Wars movie leading up to the first trench run on A New Hope, kind of a thing.
Ooh,
I was like, that would have been really cool.
yes, I agree. I mean,
Uh,
pilot movies are just so cool. They're just so
they
awesome.
are.
You could throw it in the middle of Star Wars and be in outer space as well. I think it'd
Yep.
be an epic adventure.
Absolutely. So run us through, obviously you have Ahsoka. We've talked a little bit, at least off camera. I don't know if we have yet here, of Asajj. You do an Asajj Ventress. Talk a little bit about some of your cosplays and some of because some people you go to a convention, you see these people cosplaying and you're like, oh, they were up in their room and they slap this thing on and they come down, right? Like talk about some of your cosplays and like how long does it take for you to get into some of these?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do. It's a lot of work to wear. The version of Asajj Ventress that I did, I wanted to do something different. Theory Sabers had invited all the affiliates to come hang out at their booth at MegaCon. And I thought it would be fun seeing TC Carson was going to be there, the original Kratos,
Yeah.
to do like kind of a Ventress Kratos mashup. And so I was like, well, let me just create my own look. So that's what's over here in the corner. Most of the pieces are on there still. She's got like some armor and she's got like some of the like Kratos's markings, like his tattoos. It was my first ever attempt at doing a bald cap. I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea how it was gonna turn out. You could get all your hair slicked back and find out your head's shaped like this. You don't really know,
Right.
until you get all that stuff on there. So I was doing it. It took me a little over 4 hours to get ready. So I got up super early that Saturday morning.
Oof.
That's the bad thing about doing makeup trials on con day is when stuff goes wrong, you just kind of got to go with it, right? So the bald cap turned out okay. It's not to my standards, but it was okay. So I did have my hood up for a lot of the con, and not because it was terrible looking, just these wrinkles in the back. Sometimes you just can't do anything with them when you have long hair, a lot of hair. But it was a lot of fun. I'm going to say it was a lot of fun. I love seeing Ventress out at conventions because I know how much work goes into her, and I know that they did it because they so love her so much. So that's the reason I did Ventress too. I love Asajj Ventress. I think she's an amazing character. I had some Kratos chains and some armor on. It was a lot of fun. So it was about 4 hours to get ready for that one. Ahsoka, I've probably lost track of how many times I've done Ahsoka, honestly. I do her for so many charity events that it feels like it's a lot. I have different versions of the makeup that I'll do. If it's going to be out in the heat, I have waterproof makeup. If it's a quick event, I have less expensive makeup that's water-based instead, that doesn't cost as much money, which is what I have on today. This is
Okay.
Neuron makeup.
I love it.
So I have different versions of that, but it takes me roughly 2.5 hours to get ready for Ahsoka. I have it down that quickly because I feel like I can
Wow.
do it pretty quickly. I don't even have to break out her markings anymore. I just know what they look like. It's etched into my brain. So
Yeah.
I can get her ready pretty quickly. The only other one I have that's kind of complicated would be my Night Sister. I did that one for a convention um, for it wasn't for the Dark Empire or anyone. I did go volunteer that day, but it's not an approved costume. It was one I just had created because I was going to meet Deanna, Lee, and Santos at the
Okay.
convention. So I thought it would be fun to be a Night Sister. But I
Yeah.
really love being a Night Sister, though. Not just a Stage, but one less intense, we'll say, where you can just
Yeah.
have hair and stuff. But doing the makeup and doing the gray and white palette and the black markings and stuff and doing whatever I wanted with that character was so much fun. I feel like I really thrive when I can be creative with the character and just do it however I want and not have to photocopy something and get approval. So I am leaning more towards that. And I could do custom characters that don't need approval and volunteer with customers with a cause. So I have that volunteer opportunity as well to make my own characters and still go out and volunteer, even if it's not with a Star Wars group. So those are
Yeah.
probably my most intense ones. But Asajj is definitely the most work.
Have you I don't know if you've played the game or not. Have you thought of doing Night Sister Marin from Jedi Fallen Order?
I have looked at Marin. I think she's a really awesome character. I have played Jedi Fallen Order. I still have the next game to finish. I have a problem where if I get started in a video game, I literally will just live in that video game for the next month, and then I won't get anything done. So,
I'm
so
with
it's
you.
really hard for me. I did start it, and I'm probably about like 12 hours in, and I had too many things going on, so I haven't finished the video game, and it's literally in the back of my mind all the time because I've heard so many spoilers about what happens to Cal Kestis. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I gotta finish that. Oh my gosh, he goes dark. What? Oh, I gotta finish that. So I will get around to it eventually when I have some more downtime. And usually during the summer I do because it's so hot out. You don't want to do a lot of events because you just kind of die out there in cosplay. It's like when you go
Absolutely.
to a convention and the AC is not turned down cold enough, you just
Yes.
the whole time you're just like sweating and
Yeah.
comfortable. So summer's not a day, not a season. I try and chill during those seasons.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll get some video games done.
Yeah. This this last convention at Rebel Scum Con was my first time breaking out the episode 2 Obi-Wan Kenobi. It took me about like 6 months to put it together because there's not a lot on episode 2 Obi-Wan Kenobi. So it's kind of a lot of research and stuff. And so it was my first time breaking it out. We wore it on Saturday and I had it on for almost 10 hours that day. And I was like, at the end of it, Django Fett and I were like, dude, like, we're so tired. We're so like sweaty. Like, we are just ready to be out, you know? And as we're like talking about it, like, people are still coming up. Can we get a picture with you? It's like, yeah, let's do this, you know? And it's like, we like doing that. It's just like after you've been in it for so long and you're sweaty and you're just like, okay, I'm ready to be out of this.
Yes, definitely. Sometimes we just push ourselves to the max during conventions, but we also know that it doesn't happen every day. So we go out there to
Right.
just have a really good time with friends and fans who love the same thing as you. So we really push ourselves at a lot of these things, get hardly any sleep. Do we eat enough? Probably not. Do we drink enough? Probably not. At the end of the day, do we want to just pass out and die? Probably. But we've made a lot of memories and a lot of friends that we won't forget about. That's one thing that I absolutely love about conventions is instant friends. If I see another
100%.
Ahsoka, instant friend. Like it's just so amazing talking to other Star Wars people and getting their take. And sometimes, they like things that you don't like, or like I've met a lot of people that love the Acolyte, and then I've met a lot of people that detest the Acolyte. And it's so funny how it could go from one way to another, but
Right.
ultimately, y'all just love the franchise.
100%. Yeah, I do the same thing with Obi-Wan. Like this last weekend with Obi-Wan, like there's a couple different like versions of Obi-Wan out there, and we were doing the whole like we were standing there doing the Spider-Man thing, like which one is it? It was a lot of fun, and I would definitely, obviously, doing it again. You make, like you said, so many friends. Django and I did a really fun like scavenger hunt / like race for lightsaber giveaway from Theory Sabers that he was doing. It was just a blast. We had so much fun. If any of you are thinking about cosplaying at a convention, highly recommend it. A lot of work, yes, but a lot of fun, 100%.
Definitely. And it doesn't have to be a ton of work. There's lots of different places you can purchase your cosplay from if you don't make things. Sure. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I feel like if you love a character that much, you're going to spend a lot of time and money doing, that anyway. So do pick somebody that you really love, because, it can get expensive, but it's so worth it, especially when you meet other fans who love that character as much as you do.
Absolutely, 100%. That's really cool. So I want to talk about also, obviously we mentioned you are affiliated with Theory Sabers. How did that come about? Talk about that story a little bit.
Well, I've always been a fan. Star Wars Theory and Theory Sabers. And I don't always agree with all of his opinions. What kind of human does? Right. But I do enjoy his content, and I enjoy what Theory Sabers does. They really make some amazing lightsabers and merchandise. So I was following them, and there was a post about them looking for affiliates, and I'm like, oh, that would be fun. I like spinning my lightsabers around and just nerding out with Star Wars stuff. So I put my name in the ring for that. The Fandom Menace, the official Fandom Menace, put in a good word for me. He's such the nicest Darth Maul you'll probably ever meet.
Yes, I've met him before at ICCC. Such a nice dude.
Yeah, and then Theory Sabers reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be an affiliate, and I'm like, yeah. And they're like, okay, choose your lightsaber. And I'm like, wait, I get to choose what lightsaber? I'm like, I can't pick. I was like, oh, so I was like, surprise me. And then, so when my first box opening, literally, I have no idea what lightsaber they are sending me.
That's
so
cool.
It's a complete surprise. So when I open up the box and it's 2 lightsabers, I'm like, what? And then I take them out of the velvet bags, and it's the Snips SE, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry because they're just so gorgeous. They're not cheap lightsabers. I'm like, I'm literally sitting there looking at this box saying, oh my gosh, I'm not worthy.
Right? Yeah, you're like, I feel like I need to be like true Ahsoka here, like, oh.
I was literally counting the hours for the sun to go down for me to take them outside and light them up and spin them around. It was the biggest nerd moment probably ever. I love I've had a lot of nerd moments. I mean, I've had a lot of nerd moments. So it was just an immediate love affair with Theory Sabers. Like, they were just so awesome. And anytime I needed help with anything, their customer service was on it. Let me tell you, because, things don't come in perfect all the time. I've had issues. I recently got the Disciple hilts, and one of them didn't work. So, one of them didn't work. I was like, oh, this is a bad day, And they immediately got me in touch with the guy that helps with those. He immediately got on there, videoed with me, showed me what to check, and oh my gosh. And then now I have a new love affair with taking apart lightsabers. It could be a problem. I see the internals of how they work, and I'm like, this is so awesome. I was like, maybe in the future I'll build my own, this is so cool. So they're showing me how to fix it, and it's not overly complicated, so that's cool. Plus I have a mechanic background, so it was, it wasn't too bad. So I got my lightsaber working. It was easy peasy. My point is, their customer service is so amazing. Like, they've literally made me a fan of theirs for life. Just the way they treat you like family, and they're so kind. I promise this is not a commercial. I promise that everything I'm saying right now is legit. They are just amazing people. When I went and hung out with the team in person, they're the kindest, most welcoming people I've probably ever met. They deserve to be the #1 saber company.
I agree with that. I'm not an affiliated. I'm trying to. I know they're looking for affiliates right now, but I I've met them a few different times at conventions. I was able to help get them to ICCC last year, which was really cool. The whole team, they're fantastic. I love them genuinely. Like they're a lot of fun to hang out with and chill with. So great people over there. And this is not a commercial. However, shameless plug. If you use code AshlaStar at Theory Sabers, is it 10% off, right?
Yes, you get 10% off.
There you go. Use code AshlaStar for 10% off.
And all my commissions will go to charity. My current charity right now is Sleep in Heavenly Peace. It is a charity that takes less fortunate children who do not have a bed to sleep on, and they build them a bed, get them a brand new mattress, get them brand new bedding, and they are really just taking care of the community. So Sleep in Heavenly Peace, I'm so impressed. That's who my commission is going to go to this quarter.
That's
maybe for
so
the whole
cool.
year. You know, I feel like I'm just gonna do it for the whole year because I love them so much.
Yeah. So guys, not only will you get to nerd out with a new lightsaber, but you're also helping somebody get their own bed. Look at that. It's a win-win. I don't know how else to say it. It's a win-win for everybody. That's awesome. That's so cool that you do that with the charity. That's so fun.
It's my pleasure, honestly. I love it.
Yeah. That's cool. I love the ability to give back to the community when you can, you know? So one of the things you had mentioned, obviously, is Star Wars has been part of your life for your whole life, right? So obviously, as I was, you were a nerd your entire life. What was that like for you growing up? Because I know everybody has different experiences being a nerd growing up. Some are good experiences. Some, you know, like mine, I felt like I had to hide mine just because of the times, you know, it was not cool to be a nerd. And so I just kind of want to know, like, what was it like for you growing up? Let's just be honest, as a nerd.
Well, I don't want to bring down the the energy of this podcast because I feel like it was really good. But so it was really hard, never fitting in like anywhere that you went. Oh my gosh, like being bullied just because you love something. I feel like it's what's wrong with people. What's wrong with people? You just let them love what they love, you know? Why do you have to be so mean? It was really hard growing up. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up in school. When you sat at lunch, you know the movies you see with the little nerd taking her tray and going and sitting in the corner.
Yep.
That was AshlaStarGazer. Sorry, guys. Like when you did finally find, you know, one of your people amongst the crowd, that was probably the best feeling in the world was to like have someone else who likes the things that you like. It was really tough. I learned a lot growing up, you know, about how to be strong, how, you know, sometimes you need that rocky roller coaster to just make you into a strong and independent person. So am I a better person because of it? I feel like it, but it still was really hard. And even to this day, I'm an adult and sometimes there's just people that, you know, are mean for whatever reason, just because you love something, especially online. I wish people would find a way to be more kind online. It's just ridiculous, guys. Sometimes the stuff that pops up in the comments. But, you know, ultimately, I feel like I'm a stronger person and I am more dedicated to making other people feel like they are loved because of the way that I was treated. I want people to know that they have a place in this world, no matter what they like or who they are, that they deserve to be here and that somebody loves them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun. There's a gal growing up that used to babysit for us, and she's married. She's got her own family now. And recently I found out she's got I think she's just turned 13. 13-year-old daughter loves Star Wars. I saw a picture of her and she had a Maul Shadow Lord shirt on. And so we reconnected and I've been talking to her. Her name's Molly. Shout out Molly. How are you, Molly? She she loves Star Wars. And so I ended up, I was at Rebel Scum Con. I got her a few things. I got her her favorite character is Darth Maul. So I got her a sweet Darth Maul card. I sent her a little letter and I put in there, and I truly mean this, especially for kids like that are nerdy and stuff, like let your freak flag fly. Let it fly, baby. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't be ashamed that you're a nerd. Like it's fun. Embrace it. Enjoy it. Like, if you love Star Wars, love Star Wars, geek out. If you love Lord of the Rings, love Lord of the Rings, geek out, nerd out. I don't care. Like, let that freak flag fly.
Yeah, be true to yourself. That's what I always say. Be true to yourself, because ultimately being kind to yourself matters just as much as being kind to others.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things too that I love, that's one of the reasons I love the Star Wars community. You're talking about like growing up, being bullied, not fitting in, is like when you go to conventions and stuff, like it's especially like all Star Wars convention, like Rebel Scum Con. You're like, you like Star Wars? I like Star Wars too. Do you like Star Wars too? I love Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, and you start having like, it feels like a big friend group. You don't know these people from Adam, but it feels like a big friend group, because everybody's just like, this is so awesome. And it's just happiness everywhere.
I completely agree. You make instant friends. It's like, instant friends, and you get to discuss all the lore with like-minded people. It's so much fun because I don't have a lot of people in my life that are big Star Wars fans like I am, so discussing stuff with them, you can maybe discuss some of the minor details, but not like really deep dive into stuff. But you can at conventions, let me tell you, you can make instant friends with someone in line.
Yeah, 100%. And it's fun too. Like, I'll watch like movies or TV shows, or it'll be on TV and I'm with somebody else that's not like a huge Star Wars fan. I'm watching it. I'm like, and the lore behind something. You're like, man, I wish I could say something right now, but it's just going to go wee over their head. And you're like, oh man, like if you only knew, right?
Right.
It's so fun. For you as a cosplayer and as a Star Wars fan, we're talking about, trying to make people fit in, help people to fit in. If you were to give one message to the entire Star Wars fan base and it was going to be played on a screen for every Star Wars fan to watch, what would that message be?
Ooh. I think the message would be, no matter what you're struggling with right now, just know that you're not alone in this universe, that you have people out there who care about you and love you and want the best for you, and you can get through anything. You are strong.
That's great. That's fantastic. Yeah. Mine is kind of similar. I love every time I think about that question, because it's a question I like to ask guests. Is I think of the line in A New Hope from Obi-Wan. Remember, the Force will be with you always, and that, like, no matter what, you're not alone, the Force will be with you always. Like, I love that line. I'm kind of getting goosebumps right now. I was thinking about that.
I think it's the reason that I love the Rebels animated series so much, is the whole theme of that show is family, and none of them are related. If family is what you make of it, and literally that whole show, they have their ups and their downs, but they're stronger together. And I feel like us as Star Wars fans, we can all be stronger together. Use that as an example, that no matter what happens or what we're going through, we're stronger together when we stick by each other's sides and we stand up for one another.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. One of the questions I want to start winding down the show a little bit with, rank. I usually do the 6 Star Wars movies. We'll do the 9. Rank the 9 Star Wars movies that we currently have. Where do you rank them all? And we'll do S, A, B, C, D.
Oh, I'm not prepared. Okay, so obviously S rank is going to be episode 3.
Okay. Absolutely.
3. It's just so good.
It's
so good. It's got Anakin in it, so good.
Absolutely. And the lightsaber fights are just unmatched, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, movies only. Next, I'm gonna say gonna be from the original trilogy. So episode 5. Yeah, episode 5.
Okay.
Then 4. Then 2. Then 6.
Okay.
Then 1. And then we just have 7, 8, 9.
Yep. Right.
We'll
Yeah.
just go ahead. We'll just
Right.
go and I have to know what order to put 7, 8, and 9 in. We might as well just keep them, 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah.
I hate them. I'm glad we got more Star Wars, but I just let me just put, it's really sad what they did with Luke Skywalker in those movies, and
It is
I couldn't get behind it. I'm like, no, that's not my movie.
100%. Honestly, I talk with a lot of my friends. The Force Awakens, was it a fantastic movie? No. Was it a bad movie? No. I actually think it was a halfway decent start to a trilogy. And I actually, like, when I went there, I was like, okay, it's not the greatest Star Wars I've ever seen, but it's decent. Like, I enjoyed that. They had a lot of fun stuff in there. And for me, where they lost me is, especially now, I tell people I've become good friends with Roger Christian, and I've had him on the podcast a few times. And if you know any, right, he created the lightsaber, and in that lightsaber, Luke's lightsaber, there is so much history and lore and just specialness built into that lightsaber. And so when he takes that lightsaber right at the beginning and goes whoop, like as a joke, I was like, I'm done. That's it. I can't watch this anymore. This is ridiculous. Like, it's all a joke to them.
And I didn't hate the movies.
Yeah.
It's just what they did with the original characters. I wasn't really fond of. I feel like Kylo Ren. He no matter how bad he got, I feel like Luke still wasn't gonna try and kill him.
Right.
It's Luke.
Yeah.
It's Luke. He can see the best he saw the best in Darth Vader.
Right. The second most evil dude to ever exist, yeah.
So yeah, 7, 8, 9 goes on the bottom of my list. Timothy Zahn, I feel like they should have him writing their movies because that guy just everything, and he's so good. He's so good at what he does.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I've listened on Audible, thanks Audible and Mark Thompson. I've listened to all of his books, all 11 of the Thrawn, and oh my goodness, it is so well written. It is so good. They should be having like Timothy Zahn and some of these other guys in a room, like writing scripts for people, like, because they are just phenomenal at it.
Yeah. Bring that man. You let him write the books. Let him write the scripts too, man. He's got so many good ideas. Like, if you're ever at a convention and you can just sit down and talk to him, do it, because that guy is he's amazing. He's smart, and he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. One of the things that was really cool, I got to meet him at Denver Fan Expo last year, 2025, during the 4th of July. And we were talking to him, and speaking of lore drops and stuff like that, we were talking to him about the books, the main books, the Heir to the Empire trilogy. And he goes, a lot of people ask me why Luke is so like patient towards Mara Jade, who is constantly taking jabs at him and is like so obsessed with killing him. And he goes, the main reason is that there's something inside Mara that he sees that reminds him of his father. And so he's not willing to give her up, because there's something there that he sees that reminds him of Anakin. And I was like, that is so cool. Like, to have a piece of lore like that, there's a reason that he won't give up on her. Stuff like that. Yeah. Right? It's so cool. I love it. Okay, so your rank is Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope, Attack of the Clones, Return of the Jedi, and then Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's sweet. I love it.
I feel like that's a good order.
It is a good order. It's a great order. I would switch personally. I'm a big Empire guy, hence the poster up there behind me. Empire is That's my baby. I love Empire. Even as a kid, like, oh man, the music for it is just, I still listen to the soundtrack for Empire Strikes Back on repeat all the time. I just love it. It's so good.
That's good.
It is. All right. I'm sure you're ready to probably get out of the cosplay. I know you said it's one of your most comfortable ones, but it's still, after a while, you're like, I just want to get back into comfy clothes. So I really appreciate you coming on the podcast and kicking us off season 3, episode 1. What were you going to say? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just going to say, yes. I mean, celebrating that we got a trailer drop and a date for season 2 of Ahsoka is just so much fun. So even when I'm done wrapping this up, I can't guarantee that I won't be making more nerdy videos.
I love it. I love it. And for people who would love to see your nerdy videos, that was a great segue, by the way. Where can people find you and follow you?
My website is kind of like a link tree. You go to it and it'll take you to either if you want to come volunteer with me, or if you want to check out Theory Sabers, or maybe you just want to find all my social platform links. If you go to AshlaStarGazer.com and you click on the little lightsabers and they'll light up and it'll take you to whether you want Instagram or you want TikTok or Facebook. I nerd out on all those different social platforms. It's kind of a hobby of mine to just, it's a creative outlet, something that I love to do. So if you want to follow along, I can't guarantee there won't be a ton of nerdy stuff on there, but we'll have fun together.
Heck yeah. I love it. I love it. And guys, as we put up on the bottom before, if you do go to Theory Sabers and you decide to get yourself a saber and also support Sleep in Heavenly Peace, is that what it was called?
Yeah.
All right. And you decide to support Sleep in Heavenly Peace, use code AshlaStar. You'll get 10% off your saber. And you'll be helping out a great cause, giving beds to kids. So also wanted to announce Rebel Scum Art and Apparel is back. And so if you go to rebelscumartandapparel.com, use code StarWarsGazer, you'll get 15% off your entire order. So they're back and they're going to break out some new stuff. It's going to be fun. Ashla, thank you so much again. I really appreciate you being on here. It was such a blast. And we'll have to do it again sometime.
Yes, for sure. This is so fun. I love the channel. So I hope you guys are liking and subscribing because you want to help support your fellow nerds. We need it.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that, Ashla. And guys, thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Be sure to tune in for many more episodes of season 3 of the PodGazer podcast. Again, I'm your host, Star Wars Gazer. And remember, the Force will be with you always.